What's going on, boys? Welcome back to another video. Today it is a trade recap on how I lost a little over $3,000. Really most of this was funded accounts. I only lost like $1,000 across 4 funded accounts, and then like 2K across my like 5 evals. But 8.5 RR trade, not something at all I usually do. But again, today was a very special day, I feel like, because just unusual for my trading style. But I want to explain it. Context really matters here, and go over everything. So again, coming into the day, we can see that we were literally in this 4-hour gap and in another 4-hour gap. But however, we do end up disrespecting both of these gaps. However, I also do believe we were in a daily gap. Yep, we were reacting off of this daily gap. So even though we disrespected these 4 hours right at these gaps right here, I was still looking bullish. I mean, this is clear bullish market structure. We can see that we were retracing into the previous gaps that we had made, right? We had taken out the 0.5, and then we had also placed in a high time frame SMT with Asia low. As we can see on ES, again, right, we sweep this low on ES, whereas we don't on NQ. And I feel like this was important because, again, this clears up my bullish narrative. And I feel like this was a hard day because we were reacting off of this 15-minute at open. We then made this 15-minute here, and then we also had like a bunch of 2 or 3 5 minutes down here, okay, like these 2 5 minutes. All right, so I was really just looking for honestly just looking to inverse a 5 minute to give me confirmation that we're most likely going to inverse a 15, and I kind of cooked myself in the process. Even though my narrative was right, we can see that price did end up running. I was just incorrect on having just a really tight stop, and that's just something that I could have fixed because my original stop loss. So I was waiting for this 5 minute gap right here, this top one, to get inversed, and I honestly should have just kept my stop right here. This is where I had my original stop at a 3RR, and I wouldn't have got stopped out again. Would I've wanted to like be in this position? Obviously, now that I know it at 1, but I felt like just because we had inversed every gap, we had also inversed this 15-minute here, which is where I added a contract. We can see that we closed above the 15-minute gap. I added a contract right here, came back down into it, came back down into the 15-minute. So here. So this is the 15-minute gap that I'm talking about. Boom. Okay. This from here to here. This is the one that we were respecting at open, and we also had this high right here, which was an intermediate high. So my ideal setup today would have been taking some type of long before this, using this as a break even, and then distributing higher. Whereas instead of just taking this, like I guess it still wasn't a bad trade setup, but this 15-minute, we came back, we inversed it right here, took my long, then we came back into it, and then we tapped into it right here, and we had a nice little reaction, entered there. So it was in on 3 MNQ contracts on this one account, and then I moved my stop up to right here, where it would have been a point somewhere here. And the reason for this was off of this low, and I guess this is my problem right here. This low didn't really mean much. Definitely should have ran this wasn't even it. It must have been like, yeah, somewhere here. Yeah, I do believe it was this low, but I definitely should have ran a lot bigger stop, because again, if I just ran the 5 minute, like kept it on the bottom of this 5 minute right here, or even the 15-minute, right, it's still going to present me with like a 2RR, 3RR, something like that. And I mean, it's just unfortunate, like, right, 2.7RR if I kept it here on the 5 minute, 6RR. So I guess this would have got stopped out, but at the end of the day, my narrative was right, and I was just incorrect on how I executed. The good thing about this is when I take trades like this, I obviously do tend to risk less. But I mean, if I won this trade, this would have given me at around like what? It would have had me at like a almost 20K day off of evals and stuff, obviously, but still, really big day could have been, and I just failed to realize that, and I guess I could have just not moved my stop loss. So definitely something to think about going into the future. Is something to journal, and yeah. So that's pretty much it. I feel like those are my main takeaways from today's trade. And yeah, so that's pretty much it. I'm not gonna hold you guys too much longer. Make sure you guys use my code MISH on Alpha Futures and join the free Discord, and I'll catch you boys in the next one. Peace out.